Welcome to podcast 19 of the ISPC Tailboard Talks. I'm your host, Mark. Along with me is my co-host, Jerry. How you doing this morning, man?
Doing great, man. 19.
19. Yep, we're moving right along. It seems doesn't seem like that many, and yet it maybe does seem like that many. So, yeah,
Like
we've had
marriage.
some. Yeah, right. Holy cow, I can't believe we got there. So, yeah, always good. So, um, well, today we're going to do things just a little different. So, ISPC has just had their 20-year anniversary. And so we're doing a couple episodes here in the beginning of 2025 to kind of commemorate that 20-year anniversary. And so we've asked some special guests to join us and kind of help talk about what got us here and where we're going in the future. And so this episode is ISPC the next 20 years. And so we're going to talk to some very special guests of ours today about um, you know what that journey has been so far and what that looks like moving forward. So just a little about ISPC, if we have listeners out there that kind of don't know what we do or what we're about. So this episode is brought to you by ISPC, your partner in safety. And the Institute for Safety and Powerline Construction was formed back in 2004 as a nonprofit 501c3 Louisiana association to focus on safety, health, and training in the power line industry throughout the United States and potentially other nations as well. Our mission is to advocate for safety and health in the power line construction and maintenance industry. And we do that. One of the biggest things we do is research and development behind the scenes. And then, we obviously also do safety and training and health and educating and all those types of things, assessing skills, to help customers, better their programs. So, we can provide safety initiatives and consulting specific to our customers' needs. And, we also do accident investigation and safety and training program evaluation. We do craft training, things like live line, bare hand, hot stick training. We can do evaluation placement testing to help you understand where your people fit into your program or identify gaps that you need to work on to, get your workers back up to speed when it comes to safety and training in the power line industry. And so that's a little bit about what ISPC provides. I'll have a little bit more later and some other things that ISPC does, but at
Basically
this,
everything.
yeah, I mean,
If you need it, ISPC can provide it.
yeah, that's correct. We do have a very so we do have obviously some full-time folks, and but we also have a very large network of what we call affiliated consultants that we can call on when either work ramps up or if we need that specialty focus on a specific metering or telecom or whatever the case may be. We can call on very specific industry subject matter experts to come in and help us out with those efforts. So like Jerry said, it really is, if it's done in the power line industry, we can probably help you. So um, yeah.
And the cool thing, it's a member-driven organization. So it's all about the members. You basically have control and ownership,
Yeah.
if you will, of the organization. And we'll talk more
Yeah.
about that too.
Yeah, correct. We'll get into a lot of that after we have some conversation with our guests. So without further ado, we got two very special guests joining us today, and we do a lot of work with these individuals and are very thankful for their partnerships. And so um, we have Annie Wittenberg, who is the Learning Program Manager for Northwest Public Power Association, NWPPA. Welcome, Annie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And then Kody Morris as well, who is the Transmission and Distribution Manager for Lubbock Power and Light. And so, welcome, Kody. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank y'all for asking me.
Absolutely. Um, and so,
I think both
uh,
have been guests already on the program individually,
that's correct.
but we brought them here together because together they represent what we're going to talk about, which is the next 20 years
Yep.
of ISPC.
Yeah, that's correct, Jerry. We one of the biggest things, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later. But one of the biggest things ISPC tries to do is build partnerships within the industry, right? And while we will do training, we'll come to your location and we'll do a day or two of training, and you might never talk to us again, or you might not see us for a couple years. What we're really trying to do at ISPC is build partnerships in the industry, and you know Lubbock Power and Light is one of our allegiant partners. They rely on us, we rely on them, and we got a lot of things going good and in the works with Lubbock Power and Light, and same with NWPPA and Annie. We have a lot of positive momentum moving forward. We've aligned our companies in a partnership that is really moving in a very, very positive direction. And so we're going to highlight some of those things today. Um, but so I guess we'll kind of go back and forth here between the two of you. And we'll kind of just let this go where it goes. I do have some specific questions that I'll use to kind of get the conversation going. But um, Annie, let's start with you. So NWPPA and ISPC, I know from my standpoint, this has been a work in progress for a while now, but kind of, from your aspect, how'd you guys get involved with ISPC? What started that adventure, and how did that all come about?
Oh, okay. When I came to work for NWPPA in 2021, um, line worker skills was not my program area, but engineering and operations were. And
Okay.
one of the tasks I was assigned to was to bring back some safety training. And then later I got the line worker skills program also, and substation. Substation was one of my program areas from the beginning. And my previous supervisor, Jenny Kesey, said, "Hey, you need to look up Mac Turner at ISPC. Find Mac." And the first classes that I started to work on was the substation program. And a lot of our instructors that we had used pre-COVID or even further back than that had retired or moved on or whatever. So I needed new instructors, and we're always freshening up the curriculum, always striving to make sure it's current and relevant to the moment. And so anyway, Mac introduced me to Mark, and Mark taught the first two classes that we'd sort of had in the past, similar classes, his fresh updated version for us in, was that 22 or 23? I think
I
it might have been
think
23.
I think it was, yeah.
Okay. And two new classes, substation security classes that our members had asked for. And Mark and I worked together, Mark, to develop that. They were great classes, really well received, and great evaluations. So we just kept building on that program. And we just had a substation worker boot camp last fall, and one in Idaho and then one later in Alaska. And they were sold out, having to add seats, and really, really well received. So I'm super excited. We've got so much more to go. and more areas that we're working into, both safety and line worker skills and line worker boot camps. But that's kind of how it started. I think that was
Okay.
the original question.
Yeah, no, so that's good. And so that kind of got us to today, right? And so
Mhm.
we'll move forward from there, but let me give Kody a chance. Same similar question, Kody, kind of, just to kind of bring people to today. What does that what led, and I don't know, maybe it was before you, but kind of what led the relationship between Lubbock and ISPC? How'd that all come about?
Yeah, so similarly, we're always looking to remain fresh and to have partners that are able to come in here and bring different perspectives and industry perspectives and the these your the affiliated partners or the trainers or the SMEs that the ISPC has, Mac and you, Mark, and some of the guys that we knew were industry experts that maybe could help us come in and provide some training is really where it started. Right, we wanted some technical training, some safety meeting services, just some general support. And as we kind of got that ball rolling, we started realizing that ISPC could do other things, right? So the substation apprenticeship program is was a big deal for us with you guys right now. Rolling through that, the meter shop curriculum, the meterman curriculum, training curriculum. Those were really two of the things that led us to really launch into the partnership that we have with you guys. And while still bringing the on-site trainings and the leadership training that we've really gotten some good stuff out of that. So the experts and the guys that you are able to bring in that can cover anything from meter operations to transmission hot sticking. I mean, we can get just really anything we need there. And then to cap it off with those apprenticeship programs that we had a little bit of a gap, kind of what Annie was talking about with our substation, with our meter programs. A lot of what's out there and available is the substation and meter information that a lineman needs to know, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily geared towards those guys and their craft and what they do. So that's super exciting for us.
Awesome. Yeah, glad to hear, and that's the intention. We really, I think, like you said, we have programs in our T&D Power Skills offerings from T&D Power Skills that we kind of call, substation for linemen and those type of things. And while they're very good and very informative and hit the mark where they're supposed to hit the mark, we identified a gap in the industry when it comes to substation metering uh, specific, right? For your substation technicians or electricians or your metering folks that's all they work on, and it's a very different detailed aspect of training that needed to be covered there. And so, very glad to hear that's working out. So, um,
And Mark, I think we would be remiss in mentioning that the T&D Trainers Conference and Trade Show really helped you guys see what all ISPC could do, because ISPC puts on part of the Trainers Conference and Trade Show with the speakers and the education side of it. And I think Kody and Annie, actually, is the first time I met both of you guys. Kody, I met you in New Orleans at the Trainers Conference and Trade Show, and Annie, you were in San Antonio last year before
Correct.
that. So the they got a taste of it, and then we were able to expand on what ISPC could offer. I think Kody had already known a little bit of that, and it's a good thing Mac's reputation preceded him. Otherwise, Andy would have never been told to call him. But the thing is that and I guess what I'm trying to say is that there are several avenues that got them to us, but us being able to showcase what we have or what we know and what we can do is really where that relationship was cemented, because you can tell somebody something all day and they can, you can believe as much as you want to believe, but when you see
yeah.
it firsthand is where it really shines.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little plug, Jerry, on the T&D side. Just if there's people out there listening that are, how do I get involved in this partnership? Well, you're just lucky enough to have our T&D Power Skills Conference coming up here the end of February. It's not too late to get a seat at the table there and get a chance to. Yeah, it's getting close. We're running out, but there's still a couple left. You can go to tdpowerskills.com and get yourself registered for that trainers conference in San Antonio, and get a chance to, I always say, get a chance to rub elbows with some of the best in the industry. So
And that's not us. That's our
that's right.
attendees.
That's
Um,
correct.
and look, man, I get to do a lot of trade shows, a lot of conferences, but I'm going to break my arm, pat myself on the back. But I've heard more good things about our conference than I have about a lot of other conferences out there that I attend, just because it's geared towards trainers. So if you are a trainer, um, make sure you get to check that out. Sorry,
Yep.
didn't mean to usurp the the conversation there.
Yeah. All good. All right. So, Annie, let's go back to you. So obviously you kind of detailed a little bit how we got to where we are today, but as I mentioned in the opening, ISPC and NWPPA is kind of forging a partnership moving forward that includes both ISPC and T&D Power Skills. And so, eh, give us a little insight into kind of, because obviously, um, you know, there's a reason that you and NWPPA have decided to, hey, let's march down this road. Let's forge this partnership and expand on the several trainings that you have talked about already that we did in the past. So, why, right? Why continue and build this partnership between our organizations? What's the key there?
Hmm. One of the major keys would be the subject matter experts, the quality of the instructors that ISPC brings to any of our events that we partner on, any of our training programs. Really, that is absolutely key. The You have to have the right instructor for the audience. They've
Hmm.
got to be able to relate to them and speak well. And your folks are really subject matter experts that can
Okay.
talk to real life experience, real world examples, real world history. And so that's right up there, number one.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Okay. And we're glad to hear that. We do, and I will agree with you. Listen, I've said it for a long time that you can be the best worker in the world, or you can be the most knowledgeable person when it comes to your trade, but it's a whole different um, set of skills to be able to convey that and connect with your audience and be able to train people in that craft, right? It just takes
Hmm.
it takes a there's a there's a niche there that you got to get. I mean, anybody can stand up and talk to bullet points on a screen or those type of things. So,
Hmm.
absolutely, glad to hear that's a positive. So,
Yeah. I
um,
have a little bit of a part too, but I don't. Maybe you want to jump to Cody, but or do you want me to elaborate a little bit on a
go ahead. Yeah,
second?
go ahead, and then we'll jump to Kody.
The flexibility in creating the content to match the audience, as far as um, do we want to do a 3 days of solid classroom training, or do we want to bring in some field exercises? Do we want to structure it as these new boot camps? I love that you always work with us. Some utilities in-house training works better, where they can bring you in and just train theirs. Others, open enrollment works better for our smaller utilities. Um, I really appreciate that flexibility in always working with us to find what's best for our members. And you're the same. That's how your business model is for your organization. You're so member driven, just like we are at NWPPA, just like Kody is at Lubbock Power. So keeping it fresh.
Yeah. And you have to look, flexibility is key, because without that, one box solution is not going to fit you or Kody the same. You know,
Mhm.
it's not going to fit, Joe Blow co-op down the road, or, XYZ contractor down the road. Those strict and rigid training solutions are no longer the way that we expect to be trained, honestly.
Exactly. And our customers, just like yours, are members. We have huge utilities like Sacramento Municipal Utility District and Tacoma Power and just really big ones. And then we have tiny little co-ops that have 20 employees. And so those are all our 153 members. We've got to find what works, and what works for one won't work for another. So we just have to be really creative to get everybody those experts in front of them in whatever way works. No.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, Kody, how about you? Kind of same question. What has spurred Lubbock Power and Light to continue and expand on your partnership with ISPC with our companies? What's the key to success there?
I don't want to. Yeah, Annie took the words right out of my mouth. Really, it's the ability to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, we're trying to accomplish this, and we're y'all will talk through it with us, help us come up with a strategy, and then execute on that. Whether it's substation print reading, whether it's whatever it is that we're needing, what we're trying to get done." Y'all are able to do it. We've got our own. We hired a trainer, right? So Jerry, I'll give you a plug for your trainers conference too. Um, Working with him and getting him what he needs to be able to attack our training needs and facilitate that, um, and being able to customize what we're trying to do to accomplish what we're trying to get done is a really big deal. Um, you know, I know we can have a conversation about it, and then y'all will help us come up with the solution and then deliver upon that solution. So that's been really, really nice for us.
Somebody
Yeah.
that listens to you and customizes a training program to what you request. Gasp. Shocking.
Yeah, I think the key really is, I think with both of our companies is I and this is just me speaking personally. I think probably most of our people at our companies would agree that, you know, while we're a, consulting company that works in the power line industry, the key to all this is we're a customer company, right? And so if we can't give our customers what they want, what what are you doing in this business, right? I mean, it's all about, I've said it, and Jerry, you kind of nailed the nail on the head with the the days of, this is training for linemen, and this is training for substation, and this is training for metering, and it is what it is. Take it, get out of it what you can, and move on with your business is just not the expectation anymore, right? Customers want training and safety and programs and so on that directly relate to their organization and their people, and that's just the way we need to move forward in today's industry. It's the key to success in my mind.
Yeah, and not just a training product, a partnership like
That's
we've
right.
like we've been able to do with NWPPA and LPL.
Yeah.
Um, Before we go any further, guys, we've got to talk about our sponsor this week. Our sponsor is ISPC, the Institute for Safety and Powerline Construction. And as you heard already, our vision for the future is to develop long-term partnerships with our customers, actually our members, by becoming a trusted ally in their journey towards safety and training excellence. We will work hand in hand with you and your internal teams to develop customized safety and training programs tailored to your organization's unique needs. If you want to know more, give Mark an email or shoot Mark an email, mark at ispconline.com, or visit us online, ispconline.com. ISPC, the Institute for Safety and Powerline Construction, your partner in safety.
Awesome.
All right, back to
Thanks,
our regularly
Jerry.
scheduled program.
Yeah. So, I guess, we've kind of gotten, where things started with our companies, where we are today, and kind of what got us there. So, sticking with our kind of title, right? The next 20 years. So maybe I'll let Kody go first this time, so he can steal Annie's thunder this time, right? So,
Good
um,
call.
um, Kody, where do you see our partnership going, right? We're working on a lot of things. We got a lot of things in the works here for 2025, but, I guess maybe not where do you see it going, but where do you see, I guess, yeah, where do you see it going, but what do you envision the future in your training needs, maybe what you need, where you see things going with our companies?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I am very fortunate to work for an organization that truly does place a value on training and on the well-being of our guys and making sure that they have what they need. So we're going to just keep doing what we're doing. We're going to continue identifying needs and gaps within our organization. You guys will help us with that, and then continue and develop them from beginning to end, right? From leaders, from equipping our leaders to take over and lead crews and run their things, all the way down to the technical aspects of the job and of the trades themselves. Yeah, I'm proud to work where I work because we're able to pursue partnerships like this. I'll plug the substation deal again. I'm really excited for the future of what that's going to do for us with our partnership with you guys, putting that program together and executing that. Those guys are getting a lot of value out of that. I want to keep pushing that as much as we can, and yeah, just continue growing our folks and leveraging our partnership with you to do that and provide the best service that we can, keep our guys safe, right? That's the objective is well trained, highly skilled, uh, safe guys that can go out and provide a service to our customers and our citizens, and we're very very proud and happy to do it. And yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't. You kind of mentioned there, Kody, about the substation program, and again, like Jerry, I might break my arm patting myself on the back, but one of the biggest reasons I came to ISPC, well, a couple, but obviously I wanted to work more with the industry versus a specific customer, and then you know I knew that there was a gap in our industry, right? When it came to training, a lot of stuff in our industry is geared around the line worker, right? The overhead aerial line worker. And while there was stuff out there here and there for our more specific work groups, substation, metering, those types of things, there was a big gap when it came to substation curriculum for apprenticeship programs. And so ISPC started down that road of developing a 4-year substation apprenticeship curriculum. And Kody, I can't thank you guys enough. Your engagement in that effort has been just paramount in us getting to where we are today, and continuing to work with us. Your guys, if I need information, if I need pictures, if I need videos, if I need support, prints, you name it, I can call your folks, and normally within a day or two, I got the information I need, and it's just been a really, really good partnership And I think it'll bring an aspect to the industry, not only for you guys at Lubbock Power that were missing that, but for a lot of other folks in the industry that are missing that same um, training ability when it comes to our more specific workforce um, that didn't necessarily have that. So
Yeah.
thank you for what you guys are doing.
No, we're proud to help with it. Like you said, it is a gap. It's something that we knew was missing. And yeah, I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of their work on the program, and proud to partner with you guys on it. And I'm very grateful that y'all are that you took that initiative to start that. I think it is going to serve our industry for years and decades to come. So that's definitely a nod and a driver for our partnership with y'all.
Awesome. All right, Annie. So again, kind of just like Lubbock, we got a lot of things here in 25 in the works. You touched on the boot camps, kind of that. What do I want to call it? What the word I'm looking for? Hey, here's a block of knowledge, and it's they're built towards the line worker or the substation person or the metering person, and you sign up for a couple days and you come get just a enormous amount of information and knowledge in whatever that boot camp is specific to. And so that's one of the big things that we're partnering on moving forward this year. But kind of where do you see this evolution going, between ISPC and NWPPA moving down the road? What's the vision there?
Yeah. Oh, it's fun to think out to the next steps. What's
Sure.
next? So, yeah, I feel like we've got the substation boot camps and starting to get the line worker boot camp to a great place. But in addition to that, um, folks, attendees of those classes say, hey, I want a deeper dive on this or that. So we do have, and we've put into the catalog working with Mark and Mac, a variety of more classes that they can have a deep dive. And we offer those as either a standalone class, but they can either have it in-house or we could set it up as an open enrollment, depending on the need. So we have those more deep dive, more in-depth, and perhaps even with performance component like a skills evaluation, can add that too, just depending on what the members need for both substation and line worker. So that's kind of the next step there. Also partnering, we're working to partner with TND Power Skills this year to offer your subscription to our members through NWPPA. And we've been talking about demoing that. We need to see some opportunities to demo it. Some of our members already use it, but I just think it's an amazing resource that all of our members don't know about yet. So gotta get every opportunity for them to know about that. Um,
Gonna make me blush.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Mac and Mark and I were at a meeting up at Kootenai Electric Co-op with their safety director and general foreman and a couple of others. And Mac was talking about, well, actually, Mark, you might have been teaching at that moment. You might have not been in this part. But anyway, it's talking about how that program um, works so great for when a small utility comes across a project that they haven't done in a long time. I think this was like a Delta Y or something. Now I'm totally talking a language I don't understand, not being a language. Something to do with the transformer. Anyway, it's something they haven't done in a long time, and so they just needed a little fresher. Hey, it's a module. They can just pull it up, see the video, and rewind, zoom in, do whatever you want. So that's just a really cool resource. I can't wait to share with our members. And then zooming back out a little bit, safety. We still We did a safety leadership class up in Alaska at the Alaska conference this past November. It was really well received. We do have some safety things, but that program still needs to be beefed back up. And we're going to work with you guys to do like some safety meetings slash spend the rest of the day working on something specific so that they can bring you in for a day or two, our member utilities, to take care of all sorts of safety issues. And then metering, we haven't even talked about metering yet, other than you've got the resources. I just haven't had time to think about it yet.
Yeah,
So there's so many directions we can keep growing, and I'm
yeah.
very excited about it.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that in Annie's case at NWPPA, so with Lubbock Power and Light, you're looking at one company, right? And the way they do things. And with NWPPA, you're looking at an entire association, right? And one of the things that I got to give a shout out, Annie, to NWPPA is the willingness to seek this stuff out. And then you're kind of I guess what I would call the master company, right? And then you get these resources set up and do all the back work and the leg work and the logistics, and your organizations reap that benefit, right? And have access to all that, the ISPC stuff, the T&D power skills stuff. And just another point I wanted to just build on just a little is, a lot of times when you talk about training, and especially when you're talking about apprenticeship programs and that type of stuff, we all think about, okay, that's something I do when I come into this workforce, right? Or come into this industry. And one of the biggest benefits, both with ISPC and especially T&D power skills, is the ability to use this stuff as continuing education. Or like you said, Annie, I haven't done this job in 5 years. I need something to look back at. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but a 10 or 15-minute video with some conversation or some notes to get me kind of back in the realm of what I need to do moving forward with this specific task. And our stuff is very well geared to that continuing education that is so vital to the success of our people in this industry, right? Um, you cannot train your folks at the apprenticeship level and then just forget about them for the rest of their career. Um, that's where we tend to get ourselves in a lot of trouble. So kudos to you guys for that effort.
Yes, absolutely. It should, and it shows that people care. And when people know that you care about them and their training and their well-being, and you want them to go home at night the same way they came to work, um, they will become part of the team and not just an employer-employee relationship. It becomes a team, an organization, a group effort. And that's, I think that's part of the whole changing culture in our industry. It's not employer-employee relationship anymore. It's, hey, we're members of the same team. I care about you guys, and I want you guys to get the best that we can offer.
It
Um,
really has. Well, I don't know if it's become, but I think it might be becoming more of a people first industry, right? Where if we take care of our folks and we give them the resources that they deserve to have to go to work every day to keep them safe and keep them confident and competent in the work they're going to do, uh, the associations, the employers reap that benefit, right? Your people are well skilled, well trained, very comfortable and confident to go do their daily work, and it's just a win-win situation, right? You can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Um,
and thank you
so
guys for being part of the team.
yeah, absolutely. We just couldn't. It's companies like Lubbock Power and Light and like NWPPA that at least for me personally get me up every day and keep me energized to get that substation program done, right? Or build that specific training for whether it's a small company or a large organization, and it's just
We get to
refreshing to
enjoy what we
see.
do
Yeah. So
because we get to work with guys like Kody and Annie and the rest of the clients that ISPC and T&E Power Skills get to deal with. So
yeah,
I always say I get to do this for a living.
yeah,
I thoroughly enjoy what I do and the people that I get to do it with. So
yeah. Um, I guess I'll just open the floor up. I don't really have any more specific questions, but um, Kody, I'll open the door up if anything you want to add, you know any additional words of wisdom, I guess I could say.
Yeah, no, no. Well, you might be knocking on the wrong door for wisdom, but I mean that's everything y'all have said is where we're at right now as an industry, and it really speaks to our organization for sure. We owe it to our folks to do the best we can by them, and whatever's out there that can make them better. We owe it to them to run that stuff down and offer it and make it available and do what we can to set them up for success. And the more successful they are, the more successful we'll be. And that's the goal, right? And is to have, like you said, well trained, well equipped folks that can go out and do the job, and shared values, right? We're also sharing values and instilling this stuff in these guys, and continuing education. So moving forward, I missed that a little bit. Yeah, we're going to be looking at other stuff for our lineman programs and seeing what we can do, and visiting with Jerry and looking at other stuff if it's out there and it's available. We owe it to them to run that down and make it available. So I appreciate being on here and getting to talk about it and being able to partner with you guys and seeing stuff like what NWPPA is doing. That's pretty cool too. So
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Um, Annie, how about you? Anything?
As you were talking about, oh, I just completely lost my train of thought for a second. Recruiting and retention. I was just thinking about how it all plays into recruiting and retention. We've continuing education. The workforce is changing. Lots of folks are retiring. There's a shortage of almost every skilled trade out there. And so if employees are happy and content and confident in their work and feel that safety culture, they're part of the team. Um, all of this work that we're doing and that we're so lucky and honored to get to do
Yeah,
um, helps that. And so, yeah, we just want to offer our members ways to easier, better, cutting edge ways to make their employees safer, stronger, more confident so that they want to stay.
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better, right? It's I know Jerry and I have talked to this in previous episodes of the podcast, and I know we talk about it internally. Um, there's a different expectation today with the workers coming into our industry, right? If they don't feel safe and they don't feel competent in what they need to do, they're going elsewhere. And so, it's up to us. It's up to you guys as leaders in your organizations. You both, nailed the nail on the head in saying that we owe it to our people to do what we can to make sure that they go to work day in and day out as safe and as competent as possible. It's more prevalent than it ever was in our industry, and I'm proud to work with two organizations like Lubbock and NWPPA. It's just again, like I said, it's what kind of gets you up every day and makes you continue to find better ways and and things that we need in our industry. And so can't thank you guys enough for what you do.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We're so
Thank y'all.
lucky to get to do it.
Yeah. So just to build a little bit, again, our sponsor today is ourselves, ISPC, and our goal here, one of our leading goals at ISPC is to help you protect your most valuable resource, right? Your frontline workers. And I'm not taking anything away from your supervisors, your leaders, your senior leaders. Everybody's important, but at the end of the day, why we're all here is to keep our frontline workers safe and well trained day in and day out, right? So that they can go home to their families at the end of the day. And so by equipping them with training and safety and industry leading solutions, we can keep those folks where they need to be. Our programs are specifically designed and based on current standards. We also all our training is reflected on best practices in today's utility industry, and so that's key in the success of our training moving forward. So, together again, we talked a lot about it today. Partnerships. I think it's probably becoming one of our key words or motto words at ISPC and T&D Power Skills is developing partnerships with companies like Lubbock Power and Light and NWPPA and others. To enhance our workforce, to ensure our organizations remain at the forefront of safety and operational excellence. And so we're always looking for new partners. If you're out there listening to this podcast and you think, man, I'd like to be a part of that, or they could help us, or I'd like to just get some information, reach out. We'd love to talk to you. Again, like Jerry said earlier, you can reach out directly to me, Mark at ispconline.com. And if you just want some information and don't really want to talk yet, you can head over to our website. A lot of good information and resources there, ispconline.com. Again, we'd
And that's
love
the
to chat with you.
And that's the place that you will find all about the membership
Yep,
and the different membership levels available, where you can actually be part of the organization that you belong to. So we do
yep.
take your input seriously because it is a member-driven organization.
Couldn't have said it better.
The views and opinions shared on this podcast are the personal viewpoints of the participants and may not necessarily reflect the stance of the Institute for Safety and Powerline Construction or its staff. It is highly advised to consult your company management before implementing any actions or policy changes. Please support the sponsors bringing this content to you. And for more episodes of ISPC Tailboard Talks, subscribe in your favorite podcatcher and be sure to leave a review. We would love to hear from you.
Thanks, Jerry, and thanks to Kody. Thanks to Annie. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedules to chat with us. And again, we appreciate everything you guys do, not only for us,
Absolutely,
but for the industry. It was a pleasure having you guys on.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Thank you.
Till next time
Thank you.
on
Good to see you, Mark.
ISPC Tailboard Talks. We'll see you later. Thanks, Jerry.